Ladies and gentlemen, happy Easter first and foremost. This is the Bama Standard, and we're coming to you live on a Sunday. No, your calendars are not wrong. We are coming to you live on a Sunday because A-Day happened. This episode is brought to you by Workspace Solutions and a few other guys that make life a whole lot easier for us, like Oakmont Financial Partners, LLC. I'm your host, Justin Riley. With me, as always, is senior analyst of Touchdown Alabama Magazine, Stephen M. Smith. Happy Easter, first of all, buddy. What's going on?
Doing well. I had to fight my way out of the Walmart in Skyland, off Skyland here in Tuscaloosa. So I'm sitting in my car outside of the Walmart, celebrating Easter here with the family and friends as well. But really enjoyed a phenomenal A-Day game on yesterday. And while it wasn't the crowd that Nick Saban would have hoped for it to be, at the same time, this was one of the more entertaining spring games I've ever been a part of. When you look at the defense, looks scary. If this group can stay healthy and Pete Golding gets the right sets on the field, this defense can really do some things. But offensively, we saw a lot of good as well.
Man, we definitely have a lot to dive into, especially the things you just mentioned. But first, before we do all that, you and I spoke before we jumped on air about what they did to honor Wilbur Jackson and Johnny Mitchell. So if you would, for those who missed that amazing ceremony, man, kind of take us back and tell us what you saw.
I mean, it was phenomenal. You had Greg Burns speak. You had several others speak, and the unveiling of the plaque to honor Wilbur Jackson and John Mitchell Jr., the first two African-American players to integrate the program under Coach Paul Bryant. Mitchell was highly emotional. Had to step away from the podium. He cried before making his speech because this meant so much to him and so much to Wilbur. And Mitchell spoke on in about what Coach Bryant meant to him and how Coach Bryant prepared him and molded him and shaped him for him being a coach himself with the Pittsburgh Steelers and him being a grad assistant during his time, at Alabama. It was just a very monumental, a very special, a very heartfelt, an emotional moment because, both of those two were pioneers. They came at a time where, you didn't have black athletes at the University of Alabama. So they broke that barrier and paved the way for so many people.
Right.
But how they quickly, and especially John Mitchell, they quickly deflected the attention off of them and put it on Coach Bryant and put it on the program and put it on the university because they felt like the university gave them that chance. The university gave them that opportunity to be special. And it was just a surreal moment watching the unveiling of the plaque in front of the Walk of Champions with both Jackson and Mitchell on there. Yeah. Hearing John Mitchell speak, a very elegant and eloquent man, and just seeing him just bear it all there on stage, trying to thank Coach Bryant, which he did, and so many others. But you can feel the emotion in his voice as he was crying there.
Man, to me, leading up to A-Day, I think that was the most highly anticipated parts of the weekend. And so glad that those two were properly honored. And also, like you said, that plaque, man, that plaque is an absolutely thing of beauty. And fans for generations now will be able to see that and be reminded of their contribution. And it was a huge contribution at that. So very happy for those two gentlemen and getting the roses they deserve. So, but let's go ahead and jump right into it. There's a lot of great things that happen. There's a lot of things that people are kind of up in arms about. So before we get to all the positives, let's go ahead and talk about what's got some folks up in arms. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that is the offensive line. Yesterday, the offensive line was a turnstile at times. And we saw that front seven just wreak absolute havoc. Mr. Will Anderson did his thing. Dallas Turner did his thing. Jeremiah Alexander, Chris Braswell. A lot of folks did their thing. But, Stephen, as we talked about before the show started, there really isn't need for panic. First of all, in the spring, a lot of people need to understand the defense is going to be ahead of the offense. That's just kind of the way it happens. The second thing is Eric Wolford only had, 3-4 weeks of time to really work with these guys. And add to that, a lot of starters, like we talked about, were absent. One of those, most notably, was Emil Ekiyor and Dalcourt. So, to me, knee-jerk reaction as I'm watching it, I'm thinking, oh no, this is not going to be good. Bryce Young is not going to have a possible great second year, as a starter. But then as I started thinking about that, those things have popped in my head. So I'm not quite as worried. But I want to get your thoughts on it, so people will kind of calm themselves a little bit more hearing it from your mouth.
Well, I was there, Justin, and I understand the knee jerk reaction from a lot of people. But not only did you not have starters there on the field, but not every team Bama will face this season has a Will Anderson. That guy's just a different animal. Not every defense you're going to face this season has a Dallas Turner or a Chris Braswell. So for a lot of people out there, you think about it, Alabama's defense is for real this season. And if everybody stays healthy, I'm referring to Jeff Allen, David Ballou, Paul Constantine, the strength staff, the trainers. If everybody stays healthy, and if Pete Golding gets the right sets out there, the right packages on the field, this defense will run away with college football. I felt like J.C. Latham did some really good things out there on the offensive line. If you look at the second team offensive unit, guys like Tyler Booker, the freshman, 54, he did work. Tanner Bowles looked good. Terrence Ferguson looked good. Amari Kite did some really good things. So I feel like once you get guys healthy, you get Emil Ekiyor healthy, get Darian Dalcourt healthy, Tyler Steen will arrive on campus from Vanderbilt in the summer. You get him in here. This offensive line, once fall camp gets in here, it's going to look way different than these spring games. So there's not anything really truly to panic about. I thought Coach Wolford still had a strong spring with these guys. I believe once you get some guys healthy, once you get some bodies, healed up from the banging of spring practice, get them ready to go by summer workouts, fall camp, you will be fine.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, Tyler Steen has yet to report, so we don't know what he's going to be able to contribute. There may be a question of Mims. He may come in from Georgia. If he's cleared. So that's another possibility. I don't know how real you feel like that is, but that's something else to consider. But yeah, that second team offensive line, the white offense, man, looked really good. A lot of stability there, a lot of confidence in those young men. So, and I was really pleased with how they were able to create some lanes, pushing people back, and also allow Jaylen Monroe to operate in a fantastic manner. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and transition into Jaylen Monroe. I know a lot of focus really was put on who's going to be the backup. Is Jaylen Monroe going to do his thing? Where is he going to be year two? But also, too, we witnessed Ty Simpson emerge. But I'll start with Jaylen Monroe. I tell you what, he has come a long way since last year. His accuracy has improved tremendously. You could tell that he's got a little bit of a swagger. He has some confidence to him. Just really enjoyed him just engineer drive after drive on that offense, just directing traffic. One of the best things I saw was that 52-yard bomb that he threw to our boy Christian Leary. Shout out to his mama, who I'm sure is going to be in the TDA chat tomorrow. So I know she was really excited to see her baby do his thing. But just the precision of his throws, the rifling of his throws, man, just absolutely amazing. I really enjoyed the progression of this young man. So as far as the number two guy, it's definitely him. There's no question. But I definitely want to talk about Ty Simpson in just a minute. But, Stephen, go ahead and tell us your thoughts on what you saw from Monroe.
I saw a young man that you talk about Lamar Jackson and Mike Vick in one. You're looking at Jaylen Monroe. You saw the quickness. You saw the shiftiness and the ability as a runner, but as a passer of the football, you can tell he's gotten better. He's layering
Yeah.
the ball in there. He's mixing speeds. He's got a fastball. He's got a changeup. He's leading the guys downfield accurately. A beautiful bomb to Christian Leary of 52 yards. And that Milroe-Leary connection, looking at that, it reminded me of Blake Sims, Amari Cooper back in 2014. It reminded me of Jalen Hurts, Calvin Ridley in 2016. That it reminded me of Mac Jones, Devontae Smith in 2020. Like that connection that Milroe's got with Leary is something really nice there. And not only that, you saw Milroe target Kendrick Law a couple of times.
Yes.
Target Aaron Anderson a couple of times. He targeted several guys. Even though Leary had the big day, Milroe spread the ball around. And just the confidence he had spreading that ball around. Nick Saban talked about it after the A-Day game. It was, we're going to make Milroe run the offense, run plays, and be more so of a keen pocket passer and be able to read coverage, read defenses, put the ball where it needs to be. And you saw the leaps and bounds of progression that Milroe has made the entire offseason. So I think Milroe showed fans Saturday, if anything were to happen to Bryce Young, God forbid, but if anything were to happen to Bryce Young, I can step in here and run this first-team offense. I think if you're a Bama fan, you left Brian Denny very pleased with what you saw out of Jaylen Monroe.
Oh, without question. One of the things that I was sad to see was that they wiped away those 2 touchdown runs that he had.
Oh
my gosh! That
quick, man, insane.
Yeah, there's just, first of all, he's got 6 speed, but to see him just fake out the defense and just put them on skates.
I felt so bad for Monkel Goodwine, man.
Man, I'm not right.
But Jamie Wilhelm had a question right there about Tyler Harrell. Now, I had a source who was at the game who actually got a signed autograph from Harrell. Harrell really enjoyed his visit. He was shown a lot of love. He really enjoyed it. He was hyped up. He was taking it all in. I think by Monday or Tuesday, we can hear an announcement from Harrell. I think he's coming to Alabama. I think between Monday or Tuesday, we'll hear something from Harrell. But the young man from Louisville really had a good visit.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And wouldn't it be nice for the news to break while you have In My Own Words tomorrow night? So, folks, definitely tune into that because the announcement can be coming. Spencer saying, I'm hoping that this new offensive line coach can put the right person in the best fit for them to succeed. He's still not seeing it.
Well, Spencer, once the guys get healthy, once you get Dalcourt healthy and Ekiyor healthy and the whole lot, James Brockermeyer was not out there, getting him healthy as well. So you get everybody out there healthy on the field. Tyler Steen comes in the summer. Then you can start to really put together your 5 guys there on the offensive line that you want to see from start to finish. But I think this group is going to be fine. Now, Waylon mentioned how many guys in the O-line hurt. There were 2 that were starters, potential starters, that being Ekiyor and Dalcourt. James Brockermeyer has been banged up. Tommy Brockermeyer has been in and out, all spring. But these are just some light nicks and bumps and bruises that Coach Saban did not want to push these guys out there. But they'll be good to go by summer workouts and by fall camp. But you brought up Ty Simpson here, Justin. And
I'll
say this. Bama has a strong quarterback room.
Yeah.
We all know what Bryce Young can do. But what Milroe did, Ty Simpson looked like Fran Tarkenton back there. Scrambling around, running around, make some big throws too. Like Ty Simpson, once he gets a full grasp of this thing, he's going to be something nice too.
Hey, not only Fran Tarkenton, what about Brett Favre, the way he was zipping that ball in?
Detmer, Brett Favre, all of them.
And I saw a kid who has a tremendous upside after yesterday. Is he perfect? No. You you can still see that he's got some green, but man, when it all comes together, this guy's going to be amazing. And if Arch Manning does indeed sign with Alabama, it's not a foregone conclusion that Ty Simpson's going to take a seat on the bench. So a lot of good things from Ty yesterday. Really impressed. Deceptive speed. Man's got some wheels on him. I was really impressed.
Man can go. I mean, man can fly. And one throw he made, the throw to Tyu Jones-Bell along the sideline, put it right there. Rifle of a throw. Like, Ty Simpson's got zip on the ball. He's got heat on the ball, but he can layer it in there also, and he can move. So you've got a really good quarterback room, and that's something that U.S. Bama fans going to be really excited about, because a lot of teams, they may have one quarterback, and then behind that one quarterback, you're like, dear God, who else is on this roster? But with Alabama, you got Bryce Young, reigning Heisman Trophy winner. You got Jaylen Monroe, tremendously improved. And now you got Ty Simpson that you go, ooh, he can throw and he can move. So this is a good room, complete room.
Oh, gosh, without a doubt. And like I said, if Arch Manning does indeed sign with Alabama, he's going to have his work cut out for him as far as dethroning any of these young men we just mentioned. So let's move on to the wide receiver group. This is another group that everyone had their eye on. Jermaine Burton came over here from Georgia, did some great things in practices. And of course, Christian Leary had an amazing day yesterday. So as far as the wide receivers go, I think given what we saw yesterday, we definitely are in good hands. The defensive backs made life a living hell yesterday for them, made them work for everything they absolutely got, but does not mean that they weren't impressive. Now, Jermaine Burton didn't quite have the explosive day that I was hoping he would. Doesn't take anything from what he did away, but I was really impressed with Kendrick Law. He stood out to me the most out of any of the guys other than Leary. Trayshawn Holden did some good things. JoJo Earl look good. He still looks a little timid, like he hasn't quite got it all back yet, but you can tell he is coming. And he's ready for it. He looked a little frustrated, but so he's a guy coming off an injury. It's going to happen. But I was really impressed with the wide receiver room yesterday. But Stephen, what did you see from the wide receivers?
I mean, Jermaine Burton had several good scrimmages before the A-Day game. So, of course, in the spring game, he caught 3 passes for 36 yards. Not too shabby there. But coming in, my mindset was, after Burton, who wants it? Christian Leary wanted it. He raised his hand. He said, Coach, put me in, throw me the alley. And Christian Leary, 5 catches, 106 yards, 1 touchdown. He has really improved as a route runner. When he came in 2020 from Orlando, Florida, we all knew he had speed. We all knew he had get up and go. But it was, does he have the routes? And now he's got the routes. You're seeing him sink his hips, get in and out of cuts, get in and out of breaks, accelerate, run the entire route tree. He put some moves on Malachi Moore.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, dear goodness.
Don't do this, that man.
Christian Leary he's had a tremendous spring. It's his moment. It's his moment. He's ready to take that moment. I mean, like you mentioned, Justin, I was happy with Kendrick Law. Saw some good things from him. Aaron Anderson had a few nice catches out there. Trayshawn Holden had a couple of nice catches out there. Tyu Jones-Bell
he did
had a couple of nice catches out there. So the receiver room as a whole did some good things, had some drops, but did some good things. But I thought Christian Leary took this one personal, and he really made this for him.
He did, and I was really excited. I think now that he's able to get back to his natural position. Last year, he had to be the safety valve at running back. Yeah, I think being able to return to what he's naturally good at has allowed him to kind of ascend to that next level, and we saw a little bit of it yesterday. But in regards to speed, the biggest thing of the day, Guys, Jahmyr Gibbs is as advertised. That man has a first, second, third, fourth, fifth gear. Man, as soon as he popped through that hole, and by the way, kudos to J.C. Latham, Damian George, and Seth McLaughlin for opening up that tremendous hole. They did some work to make that happen. But man, as soon as he came out of that hole, he was already in top speed. And in my mind, I was like, he gone. And nobody was catching him.
Yeah,
man.
And it was crazy. He had 100 yards rushing, but also I gotta give credit. To Brian Branch, though. Brian Branch almost got him. And that tells you Brian Branch has some speed. He came so close to knocking Gibbs out of bounds. I could tell Gibbs sensed, okay, 14 is coming up on me. Let me try to tiptoe in this end zone. But Gibbs has got some burners, man. I mean, the young man over, 13 yards per carry in the scrimmage. I mean, you can tell he will put that cleat in the ground. He will accelerate. He will go north-south. He can move. The man can flat out play.
Yeah, absolutely. And the question is, man, how is this rotation going to look come this fall when Jace McClellan and Roydell Williams return to the lineup? I was happy with some things we saw from Trey Sanders. Didn't get a whole lot of carries, but he made everything count when he did. Matter of fact, the most notable was he showed us his Najee Harris impersonation and hurdled over Kyrie Jackson. That definitely was one of the highlights for him. So excited to see Trey Sanders do his thing. But, yeah, man, really excited about the offense. I think we have a lot to be excited about. And as somebody in our chat right now is still kind of panicking with the offensive line, and maybe some other folks too, again, be confident that we're going to get things worked out. First and foremost, people are going to be healthy come the fall, come summer workouts. There's going to be more time for cohesion on the offensive line, but also between Eric Wolford and every individual who makes up the offensive line. So you're going to see an entirely different product come this fall. But let's come on to the defense. Woo! Nasty. That I honestly think that that front seven of ours is the best in the country. After what I watched yesterday, and we didn't have Byron Young yesterday.
And that's the crazy part. Bama did not have Byron Young yesterday. So you think about this. Once you get Byron Young back, how good this group can really be. I think we found our nose tackle.
We did.
Jaylen Monroe with 2 sacks, pushing people back all game long. You know what Will Anderson is. He can't be blocked. You know what Dallas Turner is. Chris Braswell had 3 sacks. I mean, Jeremiah Alexander got in there. Jaheim Otis got in there. Tim Keenan III got in there. Jalen Moody got in there. I mean, both defenses combined had, 20 sacks? So I'm just saying, if everybody stays healthy and Pete Golding just put the right package on the field at the right time, this defense is going to be insane.
Oh, without a doubt. And the funny thing is you bring up Will Anderson. He was just relentless. I mean, he was. The
man in the press conference went, "My goal is to make Bryce Young mad," and it doesn't work.
Well, the funny thing is, as I was saying, is that he had 2 sacks, and then Coach Saban literally said, "You know what? I got to pull him so I can get this offense an opportunity to actually show me something because he's disrupting the whole flow of things." But the only problem with that, like Marvin Constant, the only problem with Will Anderson is he's got his son over there, Dallas Turner, who is, as soon as he saw Dad go out, he's like, I got you.
And then, Will got his other son, Chris Braswell, that's like, I want to eat too.
I could have the numbers off, but you see, Will Anderson, like I said, had 2 sacks. Dallas Turner had 3. Braswell had 3. Jeremiah Alexander had a couple himself, but if he wasn't getting the sacks, he was all over the field. And this is a guy that is coming in looking grown manish, just being an early enrollee. Really excited for the young guys that showed out.
I am. I mean, I'm excited for Jeremiah showing out there, but I'm going to say this. And I've said this a couple times. Kendrick Blackshire is
Woo!
the love child of Reuben Foster and Mac Wilson. That dude was everywhere. He and Deontay Lawson were everywhere. Moody and To'o looked good. So your inside linebackers are looking like they've got it, just like your outside linebackers do.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Um, like I said, my boy Otis. Well, you said Jaheim Otis. This is a guy I've been touting
He's
all
the
along.
he's the future.
He
He's
ate
the
yesterday.
He's the future. He had a second. He's the future. I feel like Jamil Burrows starter, but Jaheim Otis will get reps at nose tackle. He will see reps at that position. When Coach Saban is constantly saying, he's hard to block and talking about Otis, he's going to get reps.
And the thing is, I think all the chatter during the off season has been, especially on your show, was who's going to be that guy at nose tackle. And I think they may have been watching all along because the way we saw them play yesterday, it's like they had a chip on their shoulder and they were out to prove something. It was Burrows, Tim Keenan, Jaheim Otis.
Jamarian Latham had a sack in there.
Jamarian Latham, even Braylon Ingraham was doing real well. So that middle was starting to look really good.
The middle is starting to find itself. And I feel like as much as Saban wants to trust the senior leadership, I think this is going to be a season where that senior leadership will be tested. And if one of these young guys says, hey, I can give you more production, Saban's going to have to go with the guy that gives more production.
And I do have to ask you, since you Blackshire, who's on loan to us from the Avengers, has he gotten bigger?
He has. It's he has. Oh, yes, he's gotten bigger. Deontay Lawson's gotten bigger. Deontay Lawson's now 240 pounds.
Wow, my gosh. These guys are coming in just NFL ready, it seems like. But the next focus of attention, they had a tremendously amazing day. That was the secondary. Tyree Jackson looked great. Brian Branch looked great. Man, Eli Ricks, he let everybody know, put everybody on notice that he's here to do some things, and he's going to be a problem next year. Aside for when Malachi Moore got tripped up on that 52-yard bomb to Leary, he looked pretty good. And he's going to be at midseason form as he continues to progress and healing. I think he's going to do well next year. But this secondary looked to me like they finally get it. They were turning around and looking for the ball. Their hands were up. They were making life a living hell, like I said, for the wide receivers. Nothing came easy yesterday.
I'll say this. The encouraging thing was Christian Story had a pick.
He did.
And people have been waiting on Christian Story to kind of break into that two deep rotation. And, Story's had an amazing spring. So to see Battle get a pick, Story get a pick, Kyrie Jackson get 2 pass breakups, Kool-Aid McKinstry just kept everything in front of him. I know Malachi got outran there on the play. Was in phase, but just got outran there, and he'll clean that up. He'll be better for that. From that, Brian Branch is like a missile out there. DeMarco Helms didn't play, had a non-contact jersey on, but he'll be good by summer workouts and fall camp. So I just think this for this defense, if everybody on this defense stays healthy, Pete Golding does his thing out there as the play caller. This is going to be a fearsome defense in college football. But the thing, Justin, that stood out the most to me was Bama's kicking game. Bama got a kicker and a spare kicker. I mean, Will Reichard and Jack Martin didn't miss anything.
Man, it's like they were trying to outdo one another. One makes a 41-yard field goal. The other one's like, okay, I got you. I'll make this 42-yard field goal. And it was like automatic back and forth. Just awesome to see. And like you said before we started things, even the punting game, Burnup was booting the crap out of the ball too. So, in an area that people tend to not glamorize as much as they should, very promising, and this can be a difference between games won or lost. And these guys look ready. Will Reichard, Like, he's the best kicker in the country easily. It doesn't look like he is slowing down at all. I look for another big season from him.
I look for a big season from Reichert. Jack Martin showed, hey, I'm a valuable backup. James Barnum has improved from the punting aspect. We've seen quite a few guys tried out there as return specialists, whether it's Kool-Aid McKinstry, Jameer Gibbs, Aaron Anderson, Jermaine Burton. So Bama's got a few guys are trotting out there, working on those kick returns, punt returns. Of course, those weren't live, but we're seeing some depth there at those spots. But I feel like all in all, despite the rain that happened, despite not a huge crowd on hand, if you left Bryant-Denny Stadium, you left going, there's a lot of good things I see from this team. If the guys can stay healthy, if the coordinators, Pete Golding, Bill O'Brien, don't get in your own way, this could be a really good team.
Yeah, absolutely. And someone made a comment in one of our posts earlier. How confident can you be in this offense when basically the only thing you saw was Jameer Gibbs, housing at 75 yards? Well, you also got to remember this is spring ball. You're not going to see, Bill O'Brien pull out all the stops. He just wants to give us something to go on. He wants to get these guys the much needed reps, to get them confident as they head into summer workouts and next season. So, I wasn't expecting fireworks. I just wanted to see kind of a starting point. And like you said, man, you left Bryant-Denny, or you left your TV happy if you chose to watch it on ESPN Plus. I think that we have a lot to be excited about. And yes, Jamie, we agree. This team can definitely rival what Kirby Smart has. There's no question about that. And I definitely want to go ahead and say it now based on what we saw defensively. What we'll put on the field next year is going to rival anything that Georgia's put on the field. And I don't want to jump the gun, but we could possibly have, a caliber like the 2011 defense. So we have a lot to be excited about, Stephen.
We do. It's just now getting these young men through the summer, getting these young men to fall camp, keeping these young men healthy, and just playing football.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, I'm really excited about the future with Jaylen Monroe. One of the things that I looked at yesterday was when Bryce Young threw interception. Jaylen Monroe came in and threw an interception as well. Bryce didn't seem to be able to get really back into the flow of things. He looked really frustrated all day. I would too if I constantly had a defender in my face. But you saw the maturity from Monroe. After that play, he came back on the next series and he just shook it off. And his confidence was still up there, And he kept doing his thing. He kept leading drives. Really, really good sign from the young man.
It was a great sign from Milroe to go out there and do his thing. And it was also just a really good sign seeing throws from Ty Simpson. It was a really good sign watching him throw the football, watching him run and maneuver and get up and down the field. It was all very good to see, and to have a complete room of quarterbacks, not just one, but to have a complete room is a very special thing, and Bama's got that here in Tuscaloosa.
Again, Arch Manning, if you're wanting to come to Alabama, know that this isn't going to be turned over to you because your last name is Manning.
But to answer Steve Dean here about Burton winning the Biletnikoff, he very well could. Jermaine Burton could win the Biletnikoff Award. He may start off on that Biletnikoff Award watch list in the preseason, or he could get added to it in the midseason. But he definitely has the tools and the talent to win that Biletnikoff Award.
Yeah, without question. Well, as we kind of wind things down a little bit, I want to put the pressure on you now to pick standouts from the game. Who were your MVPs? I'm sure you probably wrote some things down after you exited the stadium in your luxury booth yesterday. But who made the Stephen M. Smith MVP list yesterday?
Oh man, I mean, Steven Smith MVP list. I mean, Jaylen Monroe made the MVP list. Jameer Gibbs made it. Christian Leary made it, and of course, defensively, Jamil Burrows made it. Kendrick Law
Mm.
made it, and of course, gotta give it to my man Christian Story. Happens that kick and a pick in there. How to give one to Christian Story.
Absolutely. I know how excited you were about him, but yeah, if I had to pick, I think our list somewhat resemble. I got to first of all, give it to Monroe. Also, got to give it to Ty Simpson just because I think he's going to be the newcomer. Who's going to really take us to the next phase of this quarterback room. Also, Jeremiah Alexander, like what I saw from the young guy, like what I saw from Jaheim Otis. But again, the edge rushers, man, all of them. Jeremiah Alexander, Dallas Turner, Will Anderson, man, just phenomenal showing by all these guys. So, like I said, we got a lot to be excited about. But before we kind of wrap things up, I do want to talk a little bit about Birmingham's USFL team. Man, the Birmingham Stallions last night. If you missed the opening game of the inaugural season, man, you missed a treat. What a tremendous game. A lot of energy going through there. That second half was absolutely amazing.
I mean, it gives you the AAF feel of how that was just an exciting league, players hungry, players wanting to excel, and having fun out there. You saw the smoke, you saw the hype, you saw the entertainment. Birmingham really came out in support of the team, and that was a back and forth game, and Birmingham pulled it out there at the end. My hope and prayer, Justin, is that this league sustains, man, because we saw how the AAF just bombed out after 1 year, and then the first time we had the USFL, it bombed out after 3 years. So I'm just hoping that this time around we can see some sustainability with this league.
You know, the AAF bombed out not because it didn't produce a quality product. That had a lot to do with the people who were running the show behind the scenes. The mismanagement of money and just a lot of craziness that went on. The XFL put forth a great product, and watching what we saw last night, I think that it has the possibility to maybe last this time. So we'll see. Will every game be as good as what we saw last night? That remains to be seen, but it's definitely worth watching. Roll Tide and Rise Up is asking, will we be able to see more Blackshire this season?
We need to. We need to, and more so than just special teams. So he need to get worked in there more. Deontay Loss need to get worked in there more. So I think this season, Coach Saban's going to trust more of that rotation out there on the field.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I'm going to wind down things a little bit before we start to head out. Stephen M. Smith, if you would, man, tell us what's going on with In My Own Words tomorrow and kind of what we're going to see the rest of the week.
Well, tomorrow's going to be recapping this 8-day game. Recapping this 8-day game, what took place, the guys that stood out, Saban's words, and Will Anderson's statement about look forward to see this defense have the same pressure as that 2016 defense. So going to be a lot of recapping of the 8-day game and just diving into the guys coming in the summer. Who could be some of these summer guys that can step up and contribute also.
And one of the things that I'm really excited about in regards to that, we're going to see a Marina Black come in. So we're going to see that tight end room start to kind of take shape. And Cameron Latu won't have to do it by himself. So we're going to get a clearer picture of what that looks like. I'm ready to see Sean Murphy. I think this kid's going to be a thumper. I'm really excited to see what he's going to do. So there's still a lot of guys that we didn't get a chance to look at yesterday on top of those who were already with the team and who were injured. So, we definitely have a lot to excited about. Reminder, this week we actually are not going to have a show on Tuesday night. And the reason being, former two-time All-American safety Kevin Jackson from the University of Alabama is actually going to be honored this Tuesday night at 6 p.m. at Hines Junior College here in Mississippi. He is going to be inducted into the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame. So I'll be there watching Kevin get inducted, and I will definitely try to give as much video as possible. and get it back to you guys. Before we close out, definitely got to mention some guys that we got to every week because of the Bama Sci-Fi. If you are in the Atlanta area and you're looking for a home, talk to our guy Cyrus Jones, Atlanta Luxury Real Estate. His number's on the screen, and if you don't pay your bill, he will pick it off, and you'll be done. He's on. So you definitely want to make sure you're good on your payments. But yeah, no, if you got a home, there's no reason why. Or if you want a home, there's no reason why you shouldn't be calling Cyrus. Also, DJ Petway Precision Fencing. The man can do wonders residential or commercial wise. His number's on the screen right there. So make sure you give these guys a call. And definitely got to mention our guy, Kerry Good. A few weeks ago, he was on our show. If you missed that show, I encourage you to go back. Great show as we honor that young man. But if you want to help him fight ALS, then you need to go check out the Good Foundation. You know, if you want to play a part in finding a cure, go to www.goodfoundation.org and find out how you can get involved. Kerry's actually going to be having a golf tournament coming up. So if you want to get involved in that, that's something worth plugging into. But great show, Stephen. I couldn't wait to talk about this. A-Day was something that we were all looking forward to. I think that we came away with a lot of positive things. And I got to say, and I'm sure you'll back me up, don't give up on the offensive line just yet.
Don't do it just yet. Let's get these guys in the summer. Let's get these guys in the fall, and we'll go from there.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, great job on the watch party yesterday for your boys at TDA.
Man, Justin and John, man, do a phenomenal job, and my buddy Justin Smith is celebrating his birthday today. So, the guys are always hard at work. So, gotta love those guys.
Absolutely. Hey man, y'all had 630 likes yesterday.
I did not even see that, boy. So that's awesome.
Man, doing some things. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. And thank you to everybody in the chat tonight. Definitely excited to have you on and hearing your opinions and thoughts. You're welcome, Jamie Wilhelm. Glad to do it. We're always here to serve the Crimson Tide community. But listen, y'all have a great rest of your weekend and enjoy what remains of your Easter. Roll Tide.
Let's do it.